So whilst Wagner was looking inwards into German folklore and folk music, what Debussy did was the opposite, and he looked out into far, far away world music. So this is kind of as far as you can physically get from Europe. Earlier in 1899, Debussy visited the Exposition Universelle. So this was a fair in Paris. It was a world fair that showed off different cultures from all around the world, of different nations and their achievements. So these exhibits showed a complete variety of things. These included French operas, notably by Massenet, the building of the Eiffel Tower, a gallery of machines and technology, Wild West shooters, a circus, folk dancing from all over the world, exotic habitations. These were designed to recreate street life from all around the world, from cities such as Cairo, Lapland and Central African villages, and a human zoo of 400 black people. Don't you just love the incorrectness of the 19th century? So this was an incredible source of inspiration from Debussy, not the human zoo, the other kind of exotic elements. And Debussy was already fascinated with exotic themes from far away. Debussy spent a couple of years in Russia earlier in his life, where he became acquainted with Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov's Scheherazade. Now this is an important piece. It's Russian in a lot of the aspects of the music. However, the piece is inspired by the tale Arabian Nights and thus used more Eastern themes in the music in order to make it sound as if you were in Arabia. Arabian Nights is kind of the original tale that Aladdin was based on. To make things even more exciting, Rimsky-Korsakov is your great-great-great-grand teacher. Who knew he wrote something that wasn't Flight of the Bumblebee? So, being inspired by this World Fair really played in Debussy's favour because this fair did not happen in Germany. The purpose of the World Fair was to celebrate the centenary of the French Revolution. This is the bit in French history where they chopped off the heads of the monarchy and they're kind of celebrating the fact that they no longer have a royal family. Now, Germany had a royal family at this point, as did the UK and other countries, and all the countries that had royal families didn't really want to be seen as celebrating the fact that their monarchy were dead, and thus they didn't have one. It was here, most likely in the Javanese village, that Debussy heard gamelan music. Gamelan is a traditional music from Indonesia. It involves hitting many metallic tuned percussion instruments in a polyrhythmic fashion, so lots of different rhythms in different time signatures being played all at once. There are also drums and bamboo flutes, and the tuning systems used are not the same as we use in Western classical music. So this is not tuning that we use in the piano. This is completely different. So this is miles away from what Wagner is doing. And Debussy thinks, yeah, this is great. So he rolls with it. So at the end of Nuage, what we can see is happening here. Now we're looking at the orchestral score. Are sustained chords in the strings. Now this kind of fits with Debussy's use of staticness in his work, how to make it still and not harmonically moving, and then you can see Debussy's melodic ideas floating over the top of the texture. Also notice how Debussy is overlaying his ideas rhythmically, imitating the gamelan music and the polyrhythms that were happening there. The melodies are also outlining the pentatonic scale, which is an important part of the gamelan harmonic practice. So pentatonicism, or the pentatonic scale, doesn't use all of the notes in the Western major scale, but only uses 5 of them. So you have the tonic, the second, the third, which is major. We then don't use the 4th, we use the 5th, we use the 6th, and then we don't use the 7th either. So notice how in the pentatonic scale we don't have any semitones. Now, semitones, minor thirds as well, a little bit in the right context, think of the diminished chords and the dominant sevenths. These are what really give harmonic pull. This is why, for example, 4/3 suspensions are so effective. It's because you have a semitone falling down, or at the 7th, the semitone rising up, and that really pulls, quite literally pulls the music into the direction of the tonic. And because we don't have either the 4th or the 7th here, there is no more pull. So this really fits with Debussy and what he's trying to do. This is also the reason why Debussy is such a big fan of the whole tone scale. So the whole tone scale is a scale made entirely of tones or major seconds. On C major it would be C, D, E, which are all tones, and then instead of an F natural, it's now an F sharp. We have a tone here, and then a G sharp, and then an A sharp, and then we can think of this as well as B flat. We can then count up a tone, and we're back on C. Again, distinct lack of pull, we're just floating around. So these are the kind of things that Debussy does in his music in order to break away from Wagner and his German tradition and to create his beautiful impressionist works along with the rest of the French impressionist school. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed yourselves on this really quite pleasant video. I've enjoyed researching about this, kind of, getting some things together. That's been really nice. If there's anything in particular you want to talk about, drop me an email. I'll make a video on most things. I'm going to keep these going throughout Easter. I think, keeps me out of trouble, keeps you entertained. We're all learning. It's cool. Again, I'll set some exercises at the end, which you don't have to do, but if you do, feel free to drop them my way. Thank you everyone for watching.